Everyone thinks because you're a zombie, you don't know good coffee. Well, they're wrong. There's only one brew that gets my seal of approval. Deadly Grounds coffee is my guilty pleasure. The aroma is so intoxicating. It brings all of my neighbors out of the woodwork. Deadly Grounds coffee. Coffee to die for, and zombie approved. It's good to get a little deadly. Use the front door! Oh, they're so disgusting.
Hey everybody, it's Tuesday night, time for another live Wicked Horror Show. I'm Kevin, and as always, I'm joined by Tony Has Nine Fingers.
What is going on, people?
And you want to introduce our special guest this evening?
Sure, he's been on, I think, a record number of times on here. A frequent guest.
And friend of the show.
And friend of the show. And
friend of everyone, actually. Friend of the world. Yeah.
James Balsamo.
Sir.
Hey,
welcome back. It's been
back.
I'm trying to think. I just saw when it was. I think it was in June, maybe you were on. I think it was the last time. But you're on this time for Karate Ghost 2. And Tony was like, was there a Karate Ghost 1? And I was looking and I was trying to find it. Was there one?
Yeah, there was a one.
I was trying to find it. When did that one come out?
It came out earlier in the year.
Really? I don't know why. I must have skipped right past it.
Yep.
But anyways, Karate Ghost 2, I finished most of it. I usually try to watch it right before the show. And then I ended up having to stay late at work. So I watched most of it. I ended up watching half of it at 1.5 times speed on Vimeo or whatever, because it doesn't make your voices high or anything. It just makes everything goes faster. So it's still, you can hear what everyone's saying and everything, but still, it made the fights even better.
Yeah, Benny Hill version.
Yeah, exactly. Just slapping a bald guy on the top of the head in the corner. So this one's been in the works for a little bit. I was looking also on IMDb. This one was listed as in production, but it says you have 22 films that are upcoming, but this was listed as one of them. So either way, that's still a lot of films that you have coming out.
Yeah, it's weird. IMDb has been fighting me lately. Like some of those movies out of the 22 are already out and available at jamesbalsamo.com or Walmart or Best Buy, and it still says that they're in production. So I don't know. I've been pressing the buttons on the IMDb's, but it does its thing. So
Friggin' IMDb.
Yeah.
There's no other options.
Yeah, there's only one.
They got a corner. They're like, all right, we're going to make it so we're the only option out there, and they're just going to fuck everyone up unless they pay us a ton of money. But yeah, so Karate Ghost 2. Do you want to talk a little bit about the premise? I know, you cover the premise of Karate Ghost 1 in it. There's a little bit of a breakdown, but you want a quick synopsis without giving too much away, so that way people will be surprised.
Sure. Karate Ghost is about a ghost that does karate. The end.
And yeah.
And there's 2 of them.
Yeah.
2 movies, not 2 ghosts.
Yeah, that would be crazy.
That's the 3rd movie.
Yeah. Karate Ghosts.
Yeah.
That's the 3rd one. Yeah, so it's a James Balsamo movie. So there's a lot of antics. There's a lot of jokes. There's a lot of fun, and there's boobs. You have some guest stars in the movies, just like normal. So who do we got in this one? I know, like at the beginning, it's Bam Margera does a little shout out at the beginning. You got Linnea Quigley. Who else you got in there?
John Morrison, formerly of the WWE, currently in AEW, wrestling as Johnny TV, and my buddy John Hennigan. So him and I go to the spirit world, and we have to fight some maleficent entities in the spirit world. It's fun. Joe Castro made these really fun monsters for it. And I partnered with Joe Borlick on this, who I also did the first one with. And he's the star. He's Karate Ghost.
Nice. And how do you know him? Like, do you actually take karate classes and stuff? It looks like you're familiar with the place.
I did karate as a young lad,
Yeah.
and I talked a lot. I still do. That's why we're doing a podcast right now. And my sensei said, if you continue to talk, I will put this tape that I'm going to put down on the floor as a marker on your mouth. And I was like, well, I don't want that. So
So I'm just gonna quit.
that's it. I'm out.
Yeah. I took karate at Fred Valario's studio of self-defense. This is going back to the 80s.
It's a great name.
Yeah, but I was a child.
I want to know that story of Fred.
Yeah, Fred Valari. What are you up to now?
Yeah.
How many charges you got on you? Yeah, it's an interesting. Life is Pain is in the chat saying what's up, and Sergio's in the chat saying what's up. What's up, guys?
What's up?
And I have Sergio's already going to ask. I can tell you right now. I have a trailer. We're going to play it about halfway point, so I do have a trailer. And this is
Serge would love this because he's a big wrestling fan.
Yeah,
so
he's a wrestling fan. And he's also he's a boobs fan. He's a fan of boobs. So, but who isn't, right? Tony, you're a fan of boobs, right?
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course. So with your movies, we've had you on many a times, and you say usually you'll be making one and already have the idea for another one and stuff like. And your movies are just it doesn't focus on one thing. It goes from monster movies to now karate goes to this, and then family friendly movies. It's like where do the are you thinking about one thing and then another idea pops up and as you're writing it, or how does all your ideas, where do they come from?
Yeah, so the little voices, they never stop. You know what I mean? They're always like, hey, we should make this, and then right after that we should make this other thing. But while we're doing that, we should totally make, Possum People, like a 1950s throwback, you know what I mean, of a black and white monster movie. And I'm like, oh yeah, okay, that sounds fun. I like that. So it's kind of like that.
Sergio is saying that he does not like WWE anymore, but that's good though, because the dude that's in your movie was in WWE, but now he's in. You said AEW.
In AEW, yeah.
There you go. So Sergio, hopefully you like AEW. I don't know, but I don't know. Sergio's very picky, but you'll like this one. There's boobs. I'm going with that. I don't know. So as far as with all these upcoming movies, there's a couple, you have Robot Dracula that's in production. It says Merry Christmas Frankenstein. What's that all about?
That is a movie I'm making with Jeffrey Scott, and it is the story of how Frankenstein saves Christmas.
Oh, nice.
And, the trailer for that actually premiered last year at the Raven Van Slender Saves Christmas premiere at the Chinese Theater. And so, yeah, I might play the monster. I don't know. It's a movie it's in the works, and then it's shelved, and then it's back, for the holidays. So we'll see. But, you know, I make a lot of movies fast, and then the ones that I have a little bit more zhuzh, take a little longer to microwave.
Yeah. Well, I would be all about that. Frankenstein's my favorite Universal monster. So I would support that, but I support all of them, so it doesn't matter.
I don't want to spoil a lot, but the bolts, they're like Christmas lights.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
I like that.
Now
sorry, go ahead, Tony.
Now, with your movies, you usually have a bunch of cameos from a bunch of stars. In this movie, I have a question. When, because there's one long fighting sequence with a lot of just random people. Is that something that was what do you want to call it? A little incentive for a crowdfunding, or was it
Joe or something?
So when I sign autographs at conventions, I give people an opportunity to be in some of my movies. And so if they buy a movie and a T-shirt or an action figure, they can be in the movie, and I shoot it right then and there. So these people paid a price for a movie and an action figure. We did a Karate Goes 2 promotional action figure, and then they got to be killed in Karate Ghost 2, and that's coming out in stores everywhere this month. So,
Nice.
you know, and I partner with people to make their own movies. So if that's something anybody's interested in, go to jamesbalsamo.com and find out how you can make your own movie with me today.
Interesting. So Tony, you're talking about the one where they were in, it was like they were in the dojo and just people kept coming in.
Yeah, it was like a person coming in. It's like, I could take the Karate Ghost, and then it's like everybody's getting chopped and whacked and stuff like that. So I
I
was
think
like,
there was a little
I
girl
wonder-
that went through twice. I think
Yeah.
she put on a skeleton costume. I'm pretty sure. But that's okay. I'll forgive her. She got killed twice. Who can say that? She got killed twice in the same scene. A James Balsamo flick. So you know, we've known each other for a very long time. How's everything going out in California for you? Like everything's going good still?
Great. Yeah, I just got back from North Carolina. I was doing these movies, karate adjacent, called Karate Cops, about cops that do karate with Sean Baxter, who owns Concord Taekwondo America in North Carolina. So if anybody wants to learn martial arts and lives in North Carolina, go see Sean Baxter at Concord Taekwondo America. Also,
Yeah.
Master Ken is in the movie. Another great cameo. I don't know if you guys know Master Ken.
I don't. What is he from?
He's from the internet. He does like a lot of big martial art internet stuff. But
Really? Because he seemed like a good actor. Like I was just like, this dude has chops. Like, but he wasn't acting. He was just reading lines.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah. Well, he was good. I was like, I believe this dude.
Yeah.
Actually, the whole scene I was like, is that a real mustache or is that a fake mustache?
Oh yeah, it's real.
I was just like, because it was like almost perfect. So I was like, is that real or is that fake? So Tony had commented on you have a shaved head now. What was the final decision to go chrome dome like myself?
Oh, you know, action star. So I'm doing some action stuff now. We did, like I said, Karate Cops. So
you want to be like the yeah, you know, there's enough of them out there, so might as well join the thing.
That's right. Stone Cold Steve Austin look.
Yeah. You mentioned my beard, which is going grayer and grayer by the day. Getting old sucks. Don't do it. Yeah. But anyways. Yeah. So with Best Buy, you mentioned that this is going to be available in Best Buy. Is that going to be only online with them? Because I know that they were talking about getting rid of physical media altogether.
Yeah, it's only online. They've been cutting down a lot of their stuff. So
it's towards 2024. They said it's all the stores are no longer to carry physical media. So
I know, but it's okay because I've got streaming. So Karate Ghost 2 will be on Redbox, Crackle, and over 200 cable channels.
Oh, nice. That's cool. Is it going to be like on demand or is it going to be like
on demand? Yeah.
Nice. That's awesome.
Yeah.
There's a lot of ins and outs to that stuff. I have zero idea how that stuff works, but you figured that stuff out.
So yeah, that's what I do.
That's what I do.
Now the other thing is when you make your like ideas for your movies, when they pop in your head, do you have like specific celebrities in mind for these roles whenever you make it, or is it just like like okay, well,
John Hennigan and I, we did a movie last year called The Righteous Adventures of Commander Starshark, where it's a space adventure that he's the lead in, and he fights these like space monsters. So after we filmed, we realized that we're like basically neighbors. John lives in walking distance from me, and so John will just show up at my house in the middle of the night with his dogs to come and hang out, and so we've become good friends. And I love working with John. So any opportunity I get, you know what I mean, I call John and I say, hey, you want to fight ghosts?
He's like, all right.
We actually had him on before for it was like a wilderness horror movie back in the day. He came on for like 15 minutes.
That's Jim Ojala's film.
I believe so.
Yeah,
I don't even
Yeah,
remember what movie that was.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was on with the I can't even think. It was like 5 people, and then he came on for like 15 minutes, and then he had to leave. But he seemed like an awesome dude, so
Yeah,
I
he's
can
a really
imagine
nice guy. I love
because
John. Great.
didn't he want to like transition into movies kind of deal? Like he did the
Yeah,
wrestling for a while, and then
he just did his own movie. Man, he's gonna kill me. I can't remember the name of it. It's like the Iron Sheik Massacre, and Jim Ojala made this like little Iron Sheik puppet, and the Iron Sheik actually voiced the character
Oh,
before he
that's
passed
awesome.
away. Yeah,
Every other line is like, I suck my 12-inch cock. Like every other line.
yeah, yeah. Those Stern bits are the best.
Oh my god, I loved that. Was the one that they were just slowly zooming. It was actually on Opie and Anthony. They were just slowly zooming in as he was pissing his pants and he didn't know it.
Thank you.
Like, oh man, this dude's a mess. It's unfortunate. But it was great. It was great. Those are good times.
Craft service just arrived.
Oh, nice. I'm jealous.
Great. I love this. You guys have a
Okay.
great crafty table.
Yes, exactly. So are you going to be going home for the holidays at all, or are you going to be staying in California this year?
I stopped home last month. I took a weekend and went to Long Island to see my family.
Mhm.
So that's
So
it.
for Thanksgiving,
I'm in LA. Yeah, I'm in LA now for the holidays.
nice. That's good. You get to stop in and see the parents. And was your brother around as well?
He was, yeah.
That's awesome. He's still doing great.
Great. He's crushing it at the Associated Press.
That's sick.
So,
That's sick. That's great that you guys are both like doing what you want to do, and you're both doing it well and successful. So that's awesome. Your parents must be very proud.
appreciate that. They are. Yeah,
That's great.
they're sweet.
And I know we talked last time. You were doing a band, like you were playing music. Are you still doing that? Do you have anything in the movie?
We did a music video for the Wizards of Pleasure, and then my buddy Pat from that band, who also plays in the band Master, the band that influenced Metallica's Master of Puppets.
Oh,
We got something else in the works. So
because there was one song I was hearing. I'm like, that almost sounds like it could be James singing, but I'm not sure. But do you sing in the band as well, or you just play bass?
I sing.
You don't play bass in the band? I'm sorry.
On that track, I don't play bass, but I do
Okay,
play bass and sing.
cool. I have to check that stuff out. I always forget. So you have to send me a link or send me like if you have stuff on Spotify or whatever.
I
I'd love
will.
to check
Yeah,
it out.
I love your band. I love that you use it for the intro.
Yeah, I figure it's free.
Right? Can't beat that.
Yeah.
Now-
I just wish the other guys in my band, well, not other guys, one other guy in the band wasn't such a C-face because he put the kibosh on like using music in any other thing. And I'm just like, why do you have to be such a bitch? Like, you're doing nothing with this. Like, literally, you don't even remember how to play any of the songs. Like, you're doing nothing. Whatever. He just wants to be one of those guys. He's like, oh, we're too highbrow. Yeah, okay. Slapped in the face with the baloney tit. It's too highbrow.
Mhm.
Anyways, sorry, Tony, I interrupted. I'm just venting.
No, it's all good. But one of the things that I want to say for anybody that's watching or listening for the first time and the first time, meeting James, this one especially, a lot of his movies are very punny. So this one definitely has the puns galore. As the movie's going on, I'm just like, I was finding myself laughing to a lot of it. And the one thing I wanted to say with this is I noticed the last couple movies, especially you mentioned it before, a lot of the like costumes and stuff. So the one guy was the bug part was kind of funny. Who does the costume and stuff?
So Jeff Farley, who worked on the original, I'm sorry, not the original, the remake of the Blob in the '80s, did that piece
That's cool.
along with Hunter Jackson, who is Techno Destructo from Guar. So Hunter Jackson made the torso, and then Jeff sculpted the head. It's an original head sculpt, and then he fabricated the body with me out of foam. So
That's cool. I mean, it's cool that you've made all these like cool friends and you're staying friends with these people, you know? Because you told a story a long time ago how like you were like kind of in like a Gwar, like was it like a cover band or something?
we were a Guar knockoff band. Yeah,
Okay.
we were called Monsters Under Satan's Hands,
Hmm.
which is an acronym MUSH, and we had a 12-foot robot badger fight like a hip hop robot and like cut its head off with like a Voltron sword.
That's cool.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
but
it was
you know, you were obviously inspired by that, and now you're friends with some of the people, you know. So it's
yeah. I actually know I know all of Guar. I've known them for a long time. Crazy story about that. Brent Purgason from Guar, who just left the band, made his announcement wearing a Killer Waves T-shirt because he's actually in that movie. So like all of the metal injection and like all the articles is Brent wearing the Killer Wave shirt like next to him as Pustulus. So it's not something I could really promote, but it's like a cool.
that's
You know,
still pretty
it's
cool.
like,
I was
do
like,
I know
"Oh,
Guar?
what's that shirt all about? Let me Google that." Yeah,
Right, exactly.
that's awesome. Nah, that's pretty cool. Like, I don't know. I mean, it's cool to be comfortable around people and you know not flake out like I tend to do, because I do. So like not that long ago, I met Dave Foley and I flaked out a little bit around him and I felt very stupid. Then I had a chance a couple weeks ago to meet him again, along with Kevin McDonald, and yeah, I did it all over again. Yeah, so I was just as uncomfortable and weird. I don't know.
Nice.
I don't know. You'd think at this age I would relax. The fact that I talk to people every week.
I like their work. What can you say, right?
Yeah, that's the thing is, especially like with comedy stuff, like that's affected me a lot. Like the horror stuff affects me as well, but I'm very influenced by like stand up and just sketch comedy and stuff like Kids in the Hall. Um, it's my goal to meet all of them, but I don't know if that'll ever happen. I don't think any of the other guys ever do cons or anything or person like appearances, but we'll see. Bruce
Yeah.
McCullough would be pretty sick right now
Oh,
too.
Now,
Go ahead.
with all the celebrities that you've had, and you've mentioned on other podcasts how you went up to them and asked them to be in your movies and stuff. Has there been anybody that you've been afraid to go up to and ask? Like it seems like you just go up and is there anyone that you've had a chance to or was like, oh, I definitely, but I don't know, either got scared to go up to or were starstruck enough to? Or,
I've got two like that are unfortunately no longer with us. Angus Scrim from Phantasm. We did a show together, and I love Phantasm so much. Luckily, I got Don Coscarelli his first on-screen appearance in Robot Dracula. So that made up for not having the courage. But after we lost Angus, I just said you just got to ask. You never know. So you don't always have the opportunity. You know what I mean? Unfortunately, things happen, and people go the way of the dinosaur. So you got to ask while you're walking the dinosaur.
Yep.
because especially these days, whenever people ask for like the podcast, it's like, how do you get your guest on? It's always, I'm like, I just go up and ask.
Yeah,
And
you gotta ask.
you're either gonna get a no, or maybe if they're an asshole.
Yeah, what's the
like,
worst that happens? They say no, and you can always ask again later. I mean, I've had celebrities that have told me no, and then turned around, and a few years later they did it. So
Yeah, maybe they see you at cons and stuff like that, and they're like, "Oh, this guy means business. He's not just a schmo." Yeah,
yeah, I've been trying to get that Bam Margera cameo for like over 7 years. So,
really. Where
yeah.
was that? Like, where did you get that? Like, where were you?
So he actually did a self tape. So
Okay.
it's funny. I did a show with Bam, and I introduced myself, and we were both guests at the show. I gave him a copy of my movie Hack Job, which had Guar in it, full circle.
Yeah.
And I said, "Hey, I know you had Guar on your show. I did a movie with Guar. I'd love to get you in one of my new movies. We could actually shoot it right here. And his manager came up and was like, whoa, what is this, for a movie? I don't think so. And then I was like, all right, but can we get a picture? He's like, yeah, sure. So he takes Bam away. Long story short, I end up becoming friends with the guy. That's his manager, Jack Daniel. And Jack's the one that helped me get Bam. So it took 7 years, but it happens. And now you can see Bam Margera in Karate Ghost 2. I did it full circle. You're welcome.
There you go. Yeah. And that's giving his perfect Philly accent. I love that accent.
Yeah.
All I had to say was go to Wawa and get some hoagies, and that would have been like, yeah, there we go. But I don't know. You posted a picture recently with Kane Hodder, because you guys have been doing cons together for so long. Have you ever asked him?
Yeah, Kane's actually he's in my movie Catch of the Day, dressed as 8-bit Jason.
Really?
Catch of the Day 2. I'm sorry. Catch of the Day. No, Cool as Hell 2. I'm sorry. I've done a few movies.
Just one or two, yeah.
Kane Hodder is in Cool as Hell 2, and he is dressed as 8-bit Jason. Of course, he's not called Jason. He's called X-Man or whatever it is. You know what I mean? But Kane Hodder, his only appearance in a movie as video game Jason.
That's cool. Yeah. And actually, today is the 6-year anniversary today of when he was on the show.
Kane is such a sweet guy. You know, we've done so many shows together. Like
he is. I really thought that I blew it with him. Because he did the show, and then we were at a con, and I just was over there making small talk with him, and I was just like, hey, we really appreciate it when you came on. Is it something you ever think you would do again? He's like, why would I do that? And he just yelled at me, and I'm like, I'm sorry. And he's like, well, no. I don't do them a lot. What would make that one special if I just kept doing them? I'm like, you got a good point. But at first I was like, he's gonna kill me. Yeah. Like, this dude's gonna murder me. But he's a good dude. I haven't seen him in a wicked long time. Actually, I haven't seen him since I lost all the weight. So I'm like hoping to see him, and I'm hoping that he comments on it, because I was gigantic when he choked me out on the set of Death House. I was like I was almost 400 pounds at that point. So yeah, I was a fat piece of shit. I'm still a fat piece of shit, just a smaller piece of shit.
But we had him on. He was only supposed to do like 15, 20 minutes. He was sick, but then he gutted it out for the entire hour. He was definitely an awesome guy, joking around with everybody. So
first thing he said when he came on, remember? First thing he said, because Wolfie was on.
Wolfie, yeah.
He's like, who's that meatloaf looking motherfucker? I was like, yeah, this is great.
How's Wolfie doing? I haven't heard from him.
He's doing all right. I mean, he's still up in Washington. He just I don't know why. I don't know. He just doesn't come on. He's still in the chat with us and everything. I know he's recovering. He ended up injuring his feet over the summer. He got 3rd-degree burns on the bottom of his feet, and it's still. Yeah, he was walking around with no shoes on, and he didn't realize it was that hot out. And then the next day, he was bleeding from the bottom of his feet or something like that. So yeah, good old Wolfie. I miss him. Maybe one of these days he'll come back on for something. We'll see. But we had a lot of people come and go over the years, and they're all welcome back. I'm fine with that, So, are you fine with that?
Yeah, of course.
Okay. Anyways,
now
Yo too, right?
What's up?
Yeah,
Yeah, it was actually his birthday yesterday. Was it yesterday? Yeah, yesterday was his birthday. So
happy birthday.
Yeah, I ran into him in Boston for the it was a sneak preview of the Evil Dead Rise, and we hung out together, and it was awesome. It was like we hadn't, because he moved out to closer to Boston, so we didn't see each other as much because I'm not in Boston. And but every time I see him, it's just it was like I just saw him a week ago, We just catch right up. He's a good dude. I like him a lot. But
yeah, and it's just, I popped in maybe a few months ago. He popped in for 15 minutes, which was a surprise. But
yeah,
always
Yeah.
had like a different voice on everything. So with your vast movies and stuff, is everything just sequels, or do you have like more movies? Because we're talking about Catch of the Day and Cool as Hell and stuff. Is there like a multiple in there?
Well, Mind Melters, I'm up to 21.
Hmm.
Mind Melters is a compilation series, so it's music videos, celebrity promos, behind the scenes footage, all sorts of wacky stuff. All the short ends, as they say in film,
Mm-hmm.
and they kind of get duct taped together and make these wacky movies. And I've got 21 of them out right now.
Wow. The because one of the characters actually was like, "Oh, I was hoping to be in the trilogy, like or whatever, hoping it was going to be a trilogy," and I was like,
Oh yeah, well, Karate Ghost Goes West is the plan for the third one.
"Really? That's cool." A western. Have you ever done a western before, like a legit western out in the desert?
Not a full western. No, I did a western scene in one of the kids' movies that I did.
Oh yeah, that's cool.
Alien Danger 2. Yeah, we rented a western town, and I had these custom chaps and boots made for it. It's
You
fun.
still wear them?
Sometimes.
Just around the house. Why not? Nothing else, just those.
They chat me a little bit, though.
Yeah. Ooh.
Now, do you
Sergio, while he's asking this question, answer me in the chat. Are you still watching? Because I'm going to play the trailer in a minute, and half the time you go to the bathroom when I play the trailer. So let me know if you're still in the chat. Go ahead, Tony.
And that's a funny thing because you always say halfway through the show we will play the trailer, so that would mean that the
halfway through the show, Sergio's crying, so he needs to go to the
30-minute mark.
Yeah.
But with your movies, do you like vary to like switch it up so it's like a horror movie, a kids movie, a horror movie, a kids movie to make it a little instead of like getting like monotony of the same style movie, or how does that work?
I mean, as a filmmaker and a businessman, opportunities present themselves. Like I said, I make these movies with people that want to star in their own movie, and I kind of talk to them and see what they want to do. Like Sean Baxter and I, who made Karate Cops 1 and 2, they're going to be, not family friendly necessarily, but they're not going to be unrated. But we filmed some stuff that will be unrated, so there'll be 2 separate films out of that project. So there'll be the unrated version, and then there'll be the family-esque friendly version. So the naked pillow fights will be in a different titled movie, but it'll be the same characters.
Nice.
So yeah, it's something to look forward to as you get older. Like, I love this movie as a kid. I would really like to see that person with no shirt on when I get older, though. Yeah, something to look forward to, like Zoobly Zoo. You really want to see that kangaroo girl with no top.
Actually, if you look at it, the parrot girl, I think, is actually prettier in real life than the kangaroo.
I don't know. Why would you be looking that up now?
Because I used to watch Jubilee Zoo when I was younger.
I did too. For some reason, I had a crush on the kangaroo girl. All right.
Yeah. Well, her voice was a little like high and whatever. But anyway,
I know who I'm calling after this interview.
What did you say?
I said I know who I'm calling after this interview.
People from Jubilee Zoo.
Kangaroo girl, of course.
Yeah. Have her come in a movie, and well, not literally, but you know what I mean. Have her be in a movie. With t-shirt contest like this. Sergio hasn't answered, but I'm still going to play the trailer. And then it's his loss. I was hoping that Jamie Hill was going to pop in too. Did you see that story Jamie Hill posted, or the thing she posted on her Facebook, Tony?
I didn't see it.
So Jamie Hill, she pops up in the chat a lot. She was in Skinamarink, and it was in like Esquire's like top 50 movies of 2023. It beat out Lie to Me, and it beat out like a bunch of other movies and stuff too. So I was going to congratulate her, but she's not in the chat. God damn it, Jamie Hill. But anyways, so here is the trailer for Karate Ghost 2 by our wonderful, handsome guest, James Balsamo. And we'll be back in roughly 2 minutes.
Oh no, Karate Ghost. This is Bam Margera. Check out James Balsamo's new film, Karate Ghost 2. Watch it now or else.
Bullets in mayhem, there's no time to rest. Blood will be spilled at the wet t-shirt contest. He's Nick Laser, he knows jiu-jitsu. Don't come back from the dead or he'll judo chop you. He's Nick Laser, he'll fight till his last breath. This is Karate Ghost 2, Dojo of Death. Dojo! Let's go! Karate Ghost! 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 Yeah! He's Nick Laser! He knows jiu-jitsu. Don't come back from the dead or he'll judo chop you. He's Nick Laser! He'll fight till his last breath. This is Karate Ghost 2, Dojo of Death.
Your karate is strong, Ghost, but not strong enough. I learned some new moves, some Taekwondo. Now let's go.
There you go.
Well, all you would have to do is play the trailer, and everybody, then would have got the synopsis right there.
Yeah.
Now, do you have a song to every movie? Because I noticed with like
not everyone, but a lot of them. I've been working with this band, the Antibodies.
That
really
song was pretty great. I really like that song. It was great.
Yeah, it's fun. It's super fun.
Now,
one of your TikTok guys, Killian, who was here last week, he's saying hello.
Hello, everyone.
What's up? Welcome back. Yeah. But sorry, Tony, I interrupted you. What were you saying?
With the people that you have on, do you try to like pick their brains? Like, do you learn something new from every film that you like do, or
it really depends on the moment, but yeah, I definitely think I learned something new every project because although I've never been in jungle warfare, that's how I would like to compare filmmaking, because the way I make movies, it's on a pretty tight schedule, so it's a lot of like go go go, but sometimes you're waiting for a lighting setup or something, so you have to make small talk or you get a cool story from one of these guys, and you ask them, if they're comfortable talking about a film project, because sometimes they don't want to talk about it, you know what I mean, and you work with the celebrity cameo, but luckily I've been honored that they usually tell me a good story or something crazy, so
that's pretty cool. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure that some people are just like, I'm done talking about this. Like, that's maybe like if they've done like the con circuit or something, and they're doing like lots of panels or something, they may get like, all right, Jesus Christ, give me.
So I flew in. I don't know if you guys are wrestling fans. The Powers of Pain, the tag team,
Warlord and Barbarian.
Yep, Barbarian and Warlord, and so. I flew them in for a movie, but then they like did a podcast for somebody else for like an hour before we like had dinner. So they got off the plane, did this like hour-long podcast, then they met us in Burbank. And so I was like, spin us a yarn, you know what I mean? And they were like, oh, we're tired. We just did like an hour-long podcast. So I was like, okay. Ooh. But the next day they were refreshed, and you know what I mean? They fought myself and Techno Destructo in a wrestling ring, and they took some bumps, you know what I mean? So like those guys are hardcore. So I don't blame them. You know what I mean? I get it. It's like, dance for me, monkey, and they're all, I'm tired. It's like, wait,
Yeah.
but I brought you from the zoo to play with me. They're like, no, tomorrow.
I just want to point out something real quick. Sergio, I'm so sorry. I missed it again.
Just go to YouTube and type in Karate Ghost 2. You'll see it, Sergio.
Sergio, come on.
Now, because of your personality and every wrestler that you had on in some of your for cameos and stuff, did you ever think of becoming like a wrestling promoter and having like a
or wrestler yourself?
like
So
like a match go on and stuff?
Yes to both of those things. So I was a wrestling promoter. I played like a fake Vince McMahon character in a California wrestling league. I cannot tell you the name of the company because honestly, I just do not remember. My friend Brian Farmer was running it, and he had asked me to do a few shows. I did a show with Super Crazy from ECW, and also the 2 or 3 shows that I did. What is that girl's name? She has green hair. She's like big in the WWE now.
Shotzi Blackheart?
No, she came out in a tank.
Yeah, Shotzi.
Shotzi, that's it.
Yeah, Shotzi, whatever.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah, so I did a few shows with her before she got signed to the WWE. So it's really cool to see, hardworking people get their comeuppings. So, and years before that, I did refereeing in the indie wrestling circuit, and I'm not a small guy, so people would be like, "Why aren't you wrestling?" Because I tried it, and it is rough on your body. But I love wrestling so much. I was like, "I'll be the referee." And the people were like, "You can't referee. You're bigger than the wrestlers. Go learn how to wrestle and then come back."
Like you're not like a giant, like tall guy, but you're solid. Like you got giant arms. And
I'm a solid guy.
Yeah.
So they're like, "What are you doing being a referee?"
I know we can slap really hard because of the old tattoo, but son of a bitch. I'm gonna tell that story every time you're on the show.
That's a good story.
Day after getting a half, like not a half sleeve, but this whole part of my arm up here tattooed. Made the mistake of showing and telling James that I got a tattoo the day before.
Yeah.
Every time I walked by him, he was like, "Slap! How's that tattoo going?" And I'm like, "God damn it!" Like, but what am I gonna do? Like, I'm way taller than him, but I'm not gonna fight him. I'm not. Those days are past me. Plus, it was funny,
Yeah, it's funny.
At the same time, it was pretty funny.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. So, did you guys ever watch that? There's a show. I think it's on Netflix. It's about Al Snow's wrestling league.
Wrestler or something.
Yeah,
I saw like a half of the first episode. I didn't like it. It's just
pretty interesting. It's Al Snow running this wrestling league, and it's just all these people that want to move up to WWE. And it's kind of like a farm league for WWE, and it's pretty cool. And we, I know Al Snow from back in the was ECW, right? That's where he started. Oh, at least that's where I first knew of him from. Was that
we actually had him on the podcast too?
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
And then you had Lita in one of your
yeah, I have Lita's like I think it's like her first and only movie, and then she did my movie and then went running back to the WWE.
So
she's like, "I don't want to do movies anymore. I want to wrestle.
I want to wrestle." Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's funny because all the cameos, I'm like, I could see James doing like starting up his own wrestling.
Oh, totally.
Like whatever they call it. Is it a company, like a wrestling company, or its own?
Yeah, it's like a federation. Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
Like,
Federation
legit,
opening it up.
That giant bug. I'm just saying, like something like wrestling with like big monsters and stuff. Like,
well, it's funny you say that. I have something like that in the works where I don't want to say it's too much about it, but that movie we've been kicking around for a long time, and I do know some wrestling guys that run promotions, so it's something we've got in the works. It's just a matter of figuring out because I love Kaiju Big Battle. You know what I mean? I always thought it was so weird that there's not like a monster wrestling federation like Dracula and the Wolfman and the Invisible Man.
Not
know what I
even
mean?
over in Japan or anything. There isn't anything like that.
I've been looking a few years ago. I've had this idea for a long time. A few years ago, the WWE released action figures like Zombie, Triple H, or you know what I mean. But I think that's as close as it's gotten. So that's something I have in the works. But it's a little more complicated because you got to get the wrestlers, then you got to dress them up, and then
You got to get a costume that's not going to just fall apart as they're wrestling.
Right, exactly. You know what I mean? So that one's got a little bit more of a budget behind it than I'm willing to put into it at
Yeah.
this moment. But it's something that I've been kicking around for a long time. So when you see the Wolfman come off the top rope with a hairy elbow drop, remember we had this conversation.
He gives someone an elbow drop, and then when they get up, they like spit out like a hairball. That'd be cool. But that's the thing, though, is I guarantee you, there's other people that would absolutely love to see that. So I'm sure you get some other people involved, and that money could be raised.
Well, you know, like I said, I've talked to a few guys, and it's just a matter of, you know, bringing in the right people and then having them do. So, like John Morrison would be Dracula.
Because they did have a Monster Brawl like years ago where they had like it could have been expanded a lot better. Like it was too much storyline around something that you would actually want to see.
Right.
So seeing another movie along those lines with more of wrestling, because you get the best of both worlds, people who love horror icons, and then you get actual wrestling. This was like 5 minutes of wrestling and then a storyline behind it all. It's like, I don't want to see that.
Yeah.
So,
you know, I'm in a weird wrestling fan category where I like the wrestling version of it. Like, I'm like, if I'm playing the game, I'm like, skip the story. I want to see the chair shot. I want to see the flaming table. You know, that's why I love XPW. I love Schlack and the Necro Butcher and all those guys. I love hardcore, crazy
Nick
wrestling.
Gage.
That's why I love. Yeah. So Nick Gage is in Robot Dracula, and Schlack and Necro Butcher. They're also in my movie It Wants Blood 2. So I try to hire the guys that I dig. So
yeah. Killian saying that it looks funny and goofy. It looks good.
Thanks.
It is. I mean, it like all of his movies are very fun. Like you came from trauma. It's got your movies have a trauma feel, and that's not a negative thing. Yeah, I mean, I'm a trauma man myself. Mimi, I'm a trauma man, and I don't know. It's got a special spot in my heart, my rotten little heart.
Because it's one of those things where that's why I say I love the horror genre so much, because it does have, so many subgenres. Yeah. And it's one of those things where you get those movies where it's just like it's different from everything else. So it's like you need a break from certain things. And your movies, it's like you get a little bit of everything mixed into one big pot, because it's like you get the gore, you get the special effects, you get the boobage, you get the puns, it's like the horror comedy mixed with some gore, mixed with a little bit of everything. So you never know what you're going to get from a James Balsamo film. And it's just like, you got to strap yourself in and just watch it and get ready for it. So
Exactly. And Mr. Mullet Man's in the chat saying, what's up, guys? Always wishing everyone the best. Good juju.
I appreciate it.
Thanks, Mr. Mullet Man.
All of them are always in my lives on TikTok, so I appreciate you guys coming over.
Yes.
And what we always say is definitely anybody that's listening here, I always mention it in the lives, definitely join for the, it's awesome that you guys listen to us, but when we play the trailers or we show something or whatever, I think it's better to come join the actual lives, or you can, come and ask questions of all of us, and, maybe join James and making movies and stuff and get in touch with him. And
you should talk a little bit more about that. So you said like, Sergio, I know you missed it. I can send you the link if you'd like. Just search Karate Ghost 2 on YouTube. Thanks, Killian. But So yeah, talk a little bit more about that. Like if you want to be a filmmaker, you want to be in movies, you want to make movies. You said you can reach out to reach out to Acid Bath Productions or whatever. So what is that like? Explain it to the listeners.
Sure. So if you have an idea and you want to star in a movie, or you want to make a movie idea that you have, put your money where your mouth is. You put in half the budget, I put in the other half, and we split the movie 50-50. And then it comes out through my distribution, where I have the same distributor as Paramount. Okay, let that sink into your brain. So these fun movies that I make, they come out through the same distributor that puts out Paramount's films. So this is the biggest distribution there is. So any movie that you want to make, I'll make it for you, and we can make it together. You just have to put in half the budget, and you can tell me what the budget, is that you want. You don't have $1 million. That's fine. I can shoot these things in 5 days. I've done a lot. I've got 161 film products out right now. And so if you want to make a movie, let me know. That's what I do.
There you go.
Now, what got you like started making that first one? Like, were you just like, I just want to make a movie? Like, how did that all?
So for me, I've been acting since I'm 8, and all I ever wanted to do was make horror movies. And so I went to film school. I learned how to make my own movie. But when I was 19, I started working for Troma, and Lloyd Kaufman taught me every trick in the book. And Debbie Rashad, who I'm still good friends with to this day, did a cameo for me when I was 19, and she was wearing like a robe, and she was like, "Do you want me to take this robe off and do the scene topless?" And I was like, No, this is like a real movie. I mean, I really appreciate it, but I was like,
maybe after I say cut, then we can.
And Lloyd was like, "What's wrong with you? That is how you sell a movie. You need nudity, and you need a cool poster, and you know what I mean. If you want some girls, like I'll give you a phone number of who to contact." And then Lloyd, sent me on my way. So I tip my invisible hat to Lloyd Kaufman because he taught me every trick in the book.
That's awesome. Yeah, I still want to meet him in person. Like he's been on the show a couple times, and it's always been awesome every time he's been on. I still have never been able, like, there's cons that he's supposed to be at, and then he just isn't there. That I've like he just isn't there for the day that I'm there or something. I'm like, God damn it! I just want to shake his hand, because there's so much enjoyment I've gotten out of his product or things that he's distributed, and I wouldn't have seen it unless he had put it out, But yeah, that's great. I mean, that's really cool. I like that. Anyways, it's about time to wrap things up. So, James, where can people go to check out your 160 something movie? Without, if you're okay, how old are you of a person? And you've made 160 something movies.
I'm 37. Next January, I'll be 38. So I'm right on the cusp of 38.
Oh, see, you're getting old.
Yeah.
I got you beat by 10 years.
I got some gray in here.
I just turned 48.
Oh, happy birthday.
Anyways, so yeah, where can people go to follow you? Where are you most active, like social media wise?
Add me on Facebook, James Balsamo. I want to be your friend, or go to my website, jamesbalsamo.com. I've got movies, t-shirts, the whole shebang. I wrote 2 books. You can also get that at Barnes & Noble, Total Punishment. It's a book of bad puns. And follow me on Twitter at Acid Bath Product, or Instagram at James Balsamo, or at Acid Bath Productions. So, if you're looking for one of my movies, just type my name into Google, and then you could get them at Walmart, Best Buy, Barnes & Noble, or FYE, or wherever movies are sold. So thanks, guys.
Yeah. Can they order them on your website as well?
They can, yeah. You can get them right through jamesbalsamo.com.
Plus
or Amazon.
Amazon, you say. But you have like some special little things too. Like I still have my Boogar, and like you have like toys.
Yeah, I have toys. Yeah, we've got these Boogar action figures.
That's
and then we've got the Karate Ghost action figure as well. Oop, there it is, Karate Ghost.
That's awesome. That's funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, you always come up with the coolest stuff.
Thanks. Yeah, JamesBalsamo.com has all that fun stuff.
Cool. Tony,
Now,
what about
if Best Buy, when Best Buy, because inevitable in 24, they're going to stop. Like Full Moon, it seems like everybody's starting like their own little streaming service. You ever think about having an acid bath production streaming service, or for all your movies, or
Who knows what the future will bring? But like I said, my films are coming to cable and Redbox and Crackle, so be on the lookout. 2024.
Yeah, I would say that that's probably a better move than starting your own streaming service, because even some of the big guys have problems, like nonstop problems. Yeah, I can't imagine. Like Disney has problems with their streaming service. I can't imagine like a much smaller person trying to run their own thing. That's a lot. And it's a lot of money too, I'm sure.
It's a lot, yeah.
Yeah. So Tony, what about yourself? Where can people follow you?
You can find me on Tony Has Nine Fingers on YouTube, where I do movie reviews, unboxings, anything movie related. You can find on there. Tony Has Nine Fingers on X, which I hardly ever use, but it's just part of my shtick that I keep on saying. Tony Has Nine Fingers on TikTok, which is my fastest growing social media that I've been focused on the most. I am trying to get to 25,000 followers by the end of the year. I'm like 1,500 or 1,600 away.
24,982 shy. That's close.
I'm like, I think it's like 1,700, and then I'll be at 25,000.
Awesome.
So that's what
I'm proud of you.
Thank you. That's what I'm shooting for. It's like that. Like I said, the fastest growing one. So that's what I'm focusing most of my time to. Tony's Movies on Instagram, where I show off the movies behind me. And yes, I am pointing to the movies. So again, watch us live as opposed to listen. Well, do both. Listen to us and watch us live, because I always point to the movies. But Tony's Movies on Instagram, where I show off the movies behind me. And of course, here most Tuesdays, whether we have an awesome guest or it's just horror movie chit chat here on the Wicked Horror Show. Kevin?
Just A Knuckle on Instagram. Besides doing the show, besides doing the show with the lovely Tony Has Nine Fingers, I'm also part of That Strange Show, which is also on the Dorkening Podcast Network, and Re-Education of Nancy Ann Ritter. We just put out an episode this past Sunday. It was the Hellraiser episode, and there may have been some talk about double vaginal, double anal in that episode. Just saying. I actually got someone commented saying like, "Oh my god, the double vaginal, double anal like comments were great." I'm like, all right, cool. That's what you took from the episode. That's cool. But yeah, so that's with Nancy Ann Ritter from the original Scream. She doesn't know anything about horror movies, but she's dating Tony Moran, and she's at horror conventions all the time. So we're schooling her on the iconic, horror movies that she's gonna rub elbows with these people, So yeah, we're gonna be recording The Hills Have Eyes in a couple days, because why not? She likes Dee Wallace, and it's also a Wes Craven jam, So yeah, go follow all that stuff. Thanks everyone for watching. Thank you for everyone in the chat room: Sergio, Killian, Mr. Mullet Man. We had I don't know if it's Life is Pain, and anyone else. Thanks for watching and listening, and we'll see you next time. Bye.